stabilize. Yeah. First half of the season is going to be rocky. Stabilize, get to January, buy a couple more, get to next summer, buy 3 or 4 more. Slowly but surely, you will see this take shape. But it can't be knee-jerk. It can't be fans expecting top 4 or winning trophies immediately under this guy.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And that's what I mean. Someone said it's a lot like Arsenal. It is. Like, it's all about stabilizing, bringing in the players that the manager wants and allowing it to develop. Like, Arsenal are playing good football right now under Arteta. Bearing in mind, they haven't really played anyone yet. The Palace result was a good result for them because Arsenal fans will tell you it's a bogey ground for them. And they weren't great in that game, but they got the job done. Yeah. But the way Arsenal are playing right now is not the way they were playing last season. It's not the way they were playing the season before. This is an accumulation of certain decisions that have been made over a certain period of time, outs and ins. This didn't happen overnight. So why Manchester United fans think that after 2 games that there's something to cry about, I have absolutely no idea. Like, it's so perplexing. And then I get guys saying to me that because I'm optimistic of what the manager is going to do, or somehow I'm deluded or something. Like, what do you want me to do? Cry? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I've seen this club have elect David Moyes after Sir Alex Ferguson. Like, if I can live through that, I can live through anything. Do you know what I mean? I went from Sir Alex Ferguson to David Moyes, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and then I got Jose when I didn't want Jose. Like, it's just like, come on, bro.
I think it's one of those. You know, I've just seen your lineup, by the way, pop up on Sky Sports, and it's scary. But I'm sure you'll come to that in a minute.
I'll put it on the screen. But keep going.
I think, you know, I've seen a few people in your chat saying, "Nah, look, Man United have spent hundreds and hundreds of millions." But look, it's not. I don't think any of this problem has ever been that Man United haven't spent money. But it's spending money is only good if you've got a plan. You can't just keep spending money with different managers that have a different way of playing. What you need to see now is Ten Hag to be able to bring in players who play his way. Hence why you've spent all summer trying to get Frankie de Jong, because that is the epitome of how Erik Ten Hag plays his football, right? What I don't get, Rants, I don't get this. I do not understand how another manager has come in and you're still seeing McTominay, right? But Van der Beek can't get a game for love nor money. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but surely it's time to see something new, isn't it? Like, I don't know.
I think with this manager, you know what it is? This manager knows Donny, and I think that he knows the team's not set up here correctly for Donny yet, because the lack of physicality. I don't think he believes in Donny's physicality. I believe if De Jong and Casemiro are in the midfield, he'll play Donny in the 10. I think he trusts Donny in the 10. Everything he said about Donny van der Beek is that Donny's a 10. Like, he done an interview and he said that Donny's movement into the box and off the ball, and he's a goal-scoring midfielder. He's made it very clear that that's what he sees Donny as. So I don't think that he's got the players around him to play him. And that's the reason why I don't think he's playing him at the moment. But I do think that once the manager gets the midfield he wants, the midfield balance, I believe that Donny will get more minutes. So I'm not really too worried about the Donny situation.
Yeah, look, I think at the moment, this lineup to me, and again, tell me if I'm wrong, this lineup screams to me that this is a manager that is completely not happy with his squad and doesn't know his best 11, right? I think, you know, I'm seeing fans say I'm not Man United, but I'm seeing fans go, oh my God, Elanga, oh my God, Rashford, or this, that. Look, at the end of the day, whoever's been playing, it's not been working, right? So I think this could be a very clear statement to the board of,
I think it is.
Look, this is what I'm working with here. And you know, the breaking news is always going to be Ronaldo not playing, right? That's going to be the headline. But I think in a time like now, it's a catch-22, right? He's a goal scorer, but he won't work. He doesn't run for the team. And
that's why he's not playing. We need runners against Liverpool. And I think that's why he's chosen Elanga today. I think that's why he's chosen Elanga. And that is why he's probably gone for Marcus Rashford as the striker, because He wants people to run. He wants people to press. He wants people to press Liverpool because that's the only way to play them. So I understand what he's the team he's picked, and also Anthony Martial is coming back from a hamstring injury. So to get him to play against Liverpool, the intensity that he's going to want the team to press, I believe that's why Martial doesn't start, but I believe Martial comes on. So that's, as much as I don't like the front three, that shows our lack of depth, because Elanga shouldn't be in this team, but we don't have anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, you look, you as I said, this is windows of time this man needs. And you know, when I see Man United fans still saying, listen, we could creep into top four, he's got to get top four. I would say this at the moment, right? I've predicted Spurs to finish fourth, right? That's where I think we'll finish. And I think it's going to be a tough fight with them lot down the road, the Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
I would say this. Are Man United anywhere near as good as Spurs and Arsenal at the moment?
On what we're showing, it doesn't look like it, no.
Right. So if you're not as good as Arsenal, who I think are still going to be fifth, I think fans just need to realise this is going to take a lot of time. And like you said, this is unknown territory, because most Man United fans that I know grew up with, it was trophies every year. It was trophies. And if you weren't winning trophies, you were finishing second. You know, it was not this. So being a Spurs fan, I know what this is like, right? We've seen a lot of this since I've been supporting Spurs. So you'll get back, but it will take years.
Absolutely. And Myron said about Malinowski, another player you've been linked with. How are you feeling about that?
Listen, Malinowski is probably the 250th player Spurs have been linked with this window. Look, I really like Malinowski. I think he offers something very different. He's skillful. He's got a wonderful shot on him. Brilliant set pieces from the right and the left. You know, he can play in across multiple positions. And I believe he's got a year left, right, on his contract. So they're talking like 18, 20 million. For me, it's a no-brainer, but Spurs don't tend to do the no-brainers. And look, I can't understand, if this guy was one of our choices, why have we not gone and got it done? We've not spent a lot. We're a very rich football club, no matter what anyone will have you believe. And Paratici has got all these contacts in Italy. So, look, I'd like him. I don't know if we'll get him over the line, but it's a player we definitely like. I think he's the cheaper alternative to Zaniolo, who we wanted, but didn't put down the money for.
Fair. That's what I mean. And because at one point I read something about Spurs making some money available. I can't remember what you guys did.
Yeah.
Was that for transfers?
Well, so what they did at the beginning of the summer, it was literally like 3 or 4 days after we finished, the season finished. And what they announced was that they were going to be drawing 150 million out of the club, right?
Okay.
And that was going to be used for on-field and off-field activities. Now, this is the problem, Rants, right? Rather than people
what, were they just taking equity out of the club, basically, like what you do with a property?
Essentially, yeah. Listen, I'm not an expert of all that, but essentially it was they can withdraw with somebody far more intelligent than me will probably tell you in the chat, but they can withdraw it against the club and use it as shares. And they have to spend it in X amount of time. But basically, people who didn't read the actual full statement, all they said was, oh my God, look, we've just gone and got out £150 million for transfers. And then what they were doing on top of that, Rants, was going, plus the 70-80 million Champions League money, plus all the money we get in from players, we're spending 300 million this window. And then there were fans like me who like to spoil the fun going, that's not quite what they said. And now every Spurs fan just constantly talks about where's the 150 million, as though they said, look, Rants, which club have you ever seen announce their transfer budget at the beginning of a window?
That doesn't happen, because then you get fleeced everywhere you go.
Exactly. So, but look, all I know is I think we've spent something like, I want to say like 90 million, but it depends if you want to put the add-ons and all that kind of stuff. And we've recouped, I think, about 40. So we're about 50 million net. And this was meant to be our big window to go and challenge Liverpool and City and back Conte, and it's not quite happened for me. Not quite happened.
That's fair, but so what positions do you still think that you need to reinforce?
We definitely need a centre half. You can't be a club that wants to go and win things if Eric Dyer and Ben Davis are two of your three at the back. You just can't. They need to be your squad players for me. And what's happened is they had a decent end to the season last year, and people have now gone well over the top. You know, like Conte's turned water into wine. They're now the best things ever. So we need a centre half. I think we need a right wing back, because I think all of our right wing backs are really, really average. And we need that spark in the middle of the park, whether it be a 10, whether it be an 8, whatever. We just need someone that can make a game tick, create, you know, a playmaker or a deep line playmaker, just somebody to keep the ball moving. And sorry, I've just seen one of the comments from someone in the chat has said about Daniel James. I'm hearing we are linked with Dan James.
Huh? What to be a wing back? But that would work as a wing back. Like I said when he was at Man United, he would make a decent wing back because he's just got energy. He gets up and down, and he just puts the ball in the box. If Dan James played as a wing back, I think that could be effective, but nowhere else.
Yeah,
I think Jed Spence.
Yeah, we signed Jed Spence, and then came the famous comment a few weeks back where Conte was asked about him, and he said, "Oh, this is a club signing for the future." He was literally
so he disassociated himself from the signing,
right? But what he did say, he said, "I gave it I don't know if his actual word was. He said I agreed, or I gave it the green light." Now, for me, this is one of those sayings where you go, right, if Jed Spence doesn't work out, he can go, "Not my player." If it does work out, he can go, yeah, this is why I gave it the green light. So, look, I just want to see some quality, right? You've got Conte, who plays the wing-back system better than anyone else in the world. Give the man a proper wing-back that can attack and assist and beat a man. And we need a Perisic on the right.